Okay folks, we've arrived a bit late to the party. We were at our dinner, but here is a round 3 match on a 1 loss side in this year's VP4 US Open. And it's a race to 11. We have Albinario playing HAZAD, and Albinario has just opened up a 3 racks to 1 lead. A reminder again, as I do at the beginning of every match, it is alternate break. There are no jump cues, and if the 9 goes down in a break, you win the rack. So Albinario hooked in the 1, playing the push out. There's a bit of a tempter there for HAZAD. Can play the thin cut onto the 3. And that's just about got there. Well, he's going to have to play something with this 5 ball. The 5 ball goes past the 7. He's then got a decision to make as to whether he's going to combo the 5. Sorry, not combo. If he pots the 5, he's got a choice of running through into the 6 and 7 or drawing off it and leaving a combo with the 6 and 7. So he has to get there first though. He's still got the 2 ball to get. Needs to get out into the table. Well, that's probably more or less made his mind up. Now this isn't as easy as it could have been had he been a bit straighter on the 5. Yep, he's hit it right into the 7. And now he's opened everything up. And Albinario, well, it'll be a good cut if he cuts that into the middle, but he's probably going to go long. Now he's gone for the middle, and he's got it. That was a good shot. And it looks as if HAZAD is going to be punished for his mistake. Albinario the strong favourite, and Albinario has ended up on the 1 loss side when he lost to Mr. Bill in that final rack decider after having that big lead in the first round match, led by 12-6 at one point. So now it's 4 racks to 1. HAZAD breaking off in rack number 6. And the 7 ball has gone in the top right. And he's got no shot in the 1. So probably looking for a little edge off the 1 here. But he needs to be careful. He could run into that 3 and 5. And he's managed to just clip them and left it pretty solid safe. Albinario responds with another good safety, and HAZAD is in trouble. If he goes off the right rail, he's got a chance of kicking the 1 in, because that 9 ball is over the middle pocket. So you've got the 9 there. Well, he's went around the houses, he's got the hit. How's his luck? Well, it's not too bad, but he's going to be in trouble again. It would have been ambitious to try and kick that ball in, but the 9 ball made the middle pocket wider. But Albinario can tuck this 1 ball away if he wants. Well, I don't know what he tried there. He might have tried the combo in the 5, but Albinario's taking risks. Maybe he doesn't think that HAZAD can run the table, and he's prepared to take those risks. We're about to find out, because this 2-ball is very similar to the shot he had at the other end of the table. From the point of view, he's got half a pocket. I mean, that is too tough to get. I think he'll need an accurate shot for that to go in clean. And in the end, well, I don't know what he really played there, but he set up the 2-3. So Albinario was right, taking the risk. HAZAD failed to run out. Just a little gentle roll through, that will do. Well, he can just kill the cue ball, take the 9 in the middle. So it's going to be 5-1. A reminder, it's only a race to 11 in the one lost side, so HAZAD needs to respond somehow, or Albi's going to run away with this. Albinario breaks off in rack number 7, and the 3-ball and the 8 have gone. He's going to have to play a combo. 6 balls tied up with the 9, although on closer inspection it isn't tied up, it goes past the 9 clean, and that's a good shot. Not an easy combo, that. And Albi's left himself a wee bit short in the 2. Now, he might play this with a bit of inside English on the left hand side, or he might just go off the 2 rails around the corner. Killed the pace in the cue ball. He'll already have checked that the 6 ball goes past the 9, so he doesn't need to do a lot with the cue ball. Just travelled a little bit further than he would want in this 6. Cue ball's going to the right, so he may have to do the same again off the 2 rails on the right hand end of the table. Well, there's no doubt that Albinario isn't going to mess about, because this is his last chance to keep progression in the tournament, so he's going to be on his game, and HAZAD is going to have to pull out all the stops to stay with him. And it's now 6-1. HAZAD breaks off in rack number 8. It's dry, and Albinario can see the 1, and he needs to either leave the cue ball high here between the 5 and the 3, or run through between the 3 and the 8. So he's looking for the gap, and he's got there. Now, what about that 4 ball? Let's have a look at that. Well, the 4 ball definitely doesn't go, so he has to be thinking about that as well. Now, the angle that he's got here, he needs to get a fair bit of spin in this if he's going to try and nudge into the 4. Well, we know what's going to happen now. It's going to be the billiard, clip off the 4 and nudge the 9 in. Oh dear. Well, it's got away. 6 balls in an awkward position, but it could be a 6-9 combo if HAZAD can get there. Well, ideally he wants to roll through and get in a dead line with that 6 and 9. He's gone a bit further than he would want, but he should still be okay. Doesn't want to thump this, wants to give it as good a chance as he could, and he didn't thump it, but he hit it too hard, and his chance is gone. Now, earlier this evening we had a 1-loss side match, same round, round 3. And that ended up in a heavy defeat for Mark Sharp from Acero from Japan. He won it 11-0. And right now Albinario is only going to be 4 racks away from round number 4 on the 1-loss side. Well, this is an example, well, another example of how tough it is for the lower rated players and how much they have to raise their game and work on their positional play to be able to compete with champions like Albinario. Looks fairly straightforward. This, what's that angle like? Well, he's taking it into the middle because the angle would be taking the cue ball over to the middle pocket if he went the other way, and he's controlled it well. I think he's dead straight, so just a straight draw. And round about where the 6 ball is now would be more or less ideal because he can pot the 7 and stun past the 8. A little draw stun shot just to go behind the 8. Now, anything but straight. Well, he's going to have to squeeze the angle here. Botman left-hand English punches the cue ball over to the right. He's got a sighter in the 9. Now, how's that in the rail? Well, it's off the rail, so he should be fine. So this for 8-1. That's another dry break for HAZAD. Albinario I don't think you can see much of this 1 ball. Just an edge of it and no more. And Albinario has HAZAD in a lot of trouble again. Hooked on the 1, a kick and hope. Now that 5 ball goes past the 9, and he's got the hit. How's the luck? Nothing doing. So position on the 2 is the important one. because then everything else should fall into shape. Now, he might try and leave the cue ball below the 7. The safer move would be to go above it. Well, he's almost got there. Travelled a bit further than he would want here. He's going to have to put a bit of drag on this just to get the pace into the cue ball to cut the 4, but to stop the cue ball running away. And that changed his mind. He decided to take it into the corner, so the mistake has been made. And HAZAD can see the 4. So this is his opportunity, the first real opportunity since I joined a match. Well, he should have been out into the table. He's leaving this long. He needs to watch that middle pocket with the cue ball, because he's going to be trying to run through. He's avoided the jaw. A little soft draw or a follow through. You've got your choice in what you do here. But the cue ball needs to be over on that left hand side. And that is almost there. Straightforward enough to pot the 8 and be on the 9. Well, HAZAD is going to get his second rack in the board. There's still a lot of work to do though. So it's Albinario breaking off in rack number 11. Albinario has broke dry. Pot on the 1. Now what does he do with the cue ball to get on that 2? And the other problem is where would he put the 2, because there's not many pockets available for it. It's in an awkward place. Got to play a safety after this. Now, well, he's given himself a good chance. The 2 will squeeze past the 4, but it's very tight and it needs to be accurate. And the worst thing he'll do here is hit that 4 and bring it off the rail, which then makes Albinario's task a lot easier. You don't want to hit the 4. And that's a good shot. Hit it clean past the 4. Now, in saying that, he's now got to get this 3 and get the 4 as himself. So, oh dear, look at that. That 3 ball just died on that jaw there. That was weird. It looked as if it was in the point of drop and it just seemed to die. Easy enough to squeeze around it. Well, Albinario's made a right hash of that. I think that needed to be played a bit slower, but anyway, HAZAD has a chance. He would probably want to leave an angle in the 4 though. Oh, has he got there? Yes, he has. Oh dear, that was a disaster. Took his eye off the ball there. Presume he was trying to stop the cue ball to leave the 6 long. But actually the momentum took it into the pocket, and that's a golden opportunity thrown away. This is why you have to keep your mind on the job and be really focused on where the cue tip is on the cue ball and what shot you're attempting to play. You've got to get everything right before you let it go. And HAZAD there didn't get it right, unfortunately, and it's now 9-2. So we're into rack number 12. It's Albinario's turn. Sorry, HAZAD has got a ball in the break, I should say. Goes for the bank. And that's certainly cuttable. But the 4 and the 5 are still a problem on the left hand side. Now, can he get any connection on this 4 and 5 to open them up? He's got the angle to do it, got a perfect angle to come off the 2 rails in behind the 4 and 5. And he's drawn it directly and he's left a pot. Not an easy cut though, but he could play the safety and just stick HAZAD right behind that 6 ball. Now he looks as if he's going for the cut into the opposite corner. Sent it to the jaw. Well, the opportunity for a good solid safety was there for Albinario, but he's going for the jugular. And in this rack, it's backfired slightly. It'll backfire even more if HAZAD can take out this 5 ball and get on the 6. So he needs to stay the bottom side of the 6 here, and that's perfect. Now with this shot, a decision has to be made. He can come around the right hand side of the 9 and play it into the same pocket as the 8. And he's got to hit it though. He's left it short, and we know what happens with these. This is a tester, and he needs to watch the scratch in that middle pocket there. He has to do something with the cue ball here to avoid it. And he's missed the cut. And that was a weak shot in the 8 ball. You've got to get that cue ball up the table. If you overhit it slightly, you've still got a reasonable enough shot in the 9. And there's another chance gone. The mistake was made by Albinario. And once again, like in the earlier match, the lower rated player just could not take his chance. So Albi's broke. He's broke dry. An open table. And straight away, HAZAD's let the cue ball run again. I think he can still see enough of the 2. Maybe not. Maybe take it into the middle rather than the corner pocket. It's always going to be a tough ask when you come up against players of the quality of Albinario. It tests your game, it tests your ability, it tests your knowledge. But it gives you food for thought as far as how good your game is, relative to the class of player that you're playing. Well, Albinario is going to have to go between the 5 and 8. That would be the normal course to go. He looks as what's he doing here? Is he? Well, he's going the other way. I had to put a lot of bottom on it so he wouldn't go into the pocket. He's left it a bit longer. And now he's back in business. Prime position on the 6. So just these last 4 balls for Albinario. And he'll carry on in the tournament. So the 9 ball gives Albinario a comfortable 11-2 victory over HAZAD, and he will carry on in the tournament. Let's have a quick look at the bracket. Now that has already updated, and Albinario is through to round 4. Now that round has up until December the 21st to complete, so it may well be quite a while before Albinario learns who his opponent's going to be. Now I'd imagine it's going to be someone from that top end of the bracket, and it'll either be Mr. Strocum or Z Karaoke. Now either of them should be fair enough opponents for him, although he would still be strong favourite to go through. So now that we're on the bracket, I'll have another quick look. I don't think there was any other matches scheduled for today. Oops, we're away again with this bloody thing, hang on. No, there's nothing else scheduled, so hopefully some players will get their matches arranged at some point, and we'll maybe be back for another match soon. So with that, folks, it's short and sweet. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again some